Hello everyone, my name is Dave Smith. I am an accredited master butcher, one of less than 60 in the world. I work for a company called ABP Food Group. I'm sure that most of you are thinking about your career path and what the future has in store for you. Have some key questions to ask yourself. Where so many people have struggled during this recent crisis, people working in the food industry have never been so busy. Our industry continues to evolve with changing shoppers' needs, whether that be in veganism or health trends. We have to be on the front foot to react to the change in demands. So what could you do if you came to work for ABP? Either way, we have a wealth of experience in all areas that could guide you to your chosen career. This is a bit of a snapshot of who we are and where we are, basically. We have a network of sites throughout the UK. Our abattoirs and factories are very strategically placed so that we're close to our farmers and our cattle. This gives us several benefits. Obviously, the farmers are very, very close to the grassland. And in terms of reducing traveling times and that kind of thing, by having our factories very, very close to our farms, it means that we don't have to travel too far. And from an animal welfare point of view, our animals don't have to travel too far. So they're not going under any kind of stress. This is really, really important to us in this, particularly in this day and age. We process a wide range of foods, not just beef. We do lamb as well. We also do burgers, sausages, and we also do meat-free. We have a meat-free site on the outskirts of Liverpool where we produce a variety of different products for various customers. We have thousands of farming families around the country that we work with. So some of those farmers may send in hundreds of cattle a year. Some only bring 2 or 3 a year. We're not particular about how many they have to contract to. We just work with those farmers and look at how we develop that relationship to give the best possible product to our customers. Driving environmental sustainability in the industry is really, really important for all companies, and ABP are no exception. We work really, really hard on our sustainability plan. We sell to some of the UK's favorite retailers and also some of the top restaurants around the world. As a group, sustainability is a cornerstone in everything we do. So we launched this strategy in 2008, our doing more with less strategy, launched with strict targets to achieve by the end of 2020. We hit most of those targets at least 2 years earlier, particularly reducing carbon emissions, using less water, electricity and energy, and send no waste to landfill. We find this extremely important as in terms of what we want to do. Our customer targets are our targets, and ensuring that we hit their targets as well as our own is extremely important to us. A snapshot of some of the customers that we serve. Some of these brands are very, very recognizable to most people. So apart from the retailers, which are a major part of our business, we also serve major hotels and restaurants. The Ritz Hotel, RAC Club, just to name a few. We also do a lot of food service within places like Mitchells and Butlers, Green King. We serve a lot of the big food service guys and the wholesalers also. I would now like to give you a brief demonstration of what being a butcher actually looks like. That was a side of beef, full side of beef that you saw there hanging. Now I've basically taken that into 2 quarters. What we're looking at now is the 4/4 of beef. So basically we have two quarters. We have the back end and the front end. The front end is because it does the most amount of work. The muscles tend to be a little bit more tougher. So we use these cuts that you'll see me butcher now into things like mince, stewing steak, braising steak, slow cooking lines, basically, whereas the back end of the animal is where all your prime cuts come from. What I'm actually trying to do here is I'm actually going through the natural seams on a lot of these muscles, so that I can expose all my fat and all my membrane. That enables me to get really, really lean muscles and make the product satisfactory for good quality mince and good quality stewing steak. The kind of things that you get from the forequarter, more and more people are looking for good quality mince now, whether that's for burgers or for meatballs or that kind of thing. And then also you got like a feather blade steak, which some of you might be familiar with. Very popular if you go on holiday to America, but it's getting popular here now. This is a feather blade, which I'm actually going to turn into a flat iron steak. And how I do that is because the feather blade has a thick gristle running through it that nobody wants to eat, because you'll basically be chewing on it forever. We split it down into two natural muscles, taking the thickest gristle, which I've just pointed at now, and remove it. And actually, considering the forequarter of meat is very, very tough in comparison to the back end of the animal, some of the steaks, like this flat iron steak, are really, really tasty. If you ever get a chance to go in a restaurant and taste a flat iron steak, this is the product that you'll be getting. So in order to make that a lot more satisfactory from an eating point of view, trimming away all the loose ends and removing hard skin and that kind of thing to get a muscle that we're trying to get to a 98% visual lean, really. So you're looking at something really, really lean. So some of the cuts for mincing are good solid cuts. When I first started butchery, people only minced the trimmings that came off the animal. And if there were no trimmings, then you basically didn't sell any mince. Now, mince has just become more and more popular over the last 30 years. And particularly for people that aren't that confident in cooking, you'll get a lot of people that fancy a nice steak at home, but don't want to spend a lot of money because they're worried in case it doesn't turn into a good eating experience. So these kind of muscles that we butcher for mince make fantastic dishes. We're going to look at the hindquarter now, which is the back end of the animal. What I'm showing you there now is all your key cuts. So this is where your steak meat, your sirloin, your rump, your fillet steak, your ribeye steak, and then at the back end where it's at its largest is your cuts for roasted joints, top side, silver side, and top rump, which are all the most expensive cuts essentially. What we're going to do is I'm going to just take off the forerib for you once this is done and show you all the different cuts that you get from a forerib. So historically, a forerib of beef was literally just a joint that you would sell to people, and they would roast that. But that was very, very unpopular during the summer months when people didn't really want to do roasting joints. Now we're actually in such demand with this cut that we have three main cuts that we take from it. What I'm actually doing here now is I'm gonna do a carvery bone-in rib, the sort of thing that you get in the restaurant in the carvery, which is really good quality. And what the benefit of taking the key bones out and just leaving some bone on the bottom means that you can cook it nicely and you can actually carve it quite nicely. For people that don't want any bone in it, we would literally just take those rib bones out, which I'm going to demonstrate just after I've trimmed some of this fat down, and sell a boneless rib of beef. Particularly times like Christmas and that kind of thing, this cut of meat is really, really popular. People like it as a centerpiece on the table. But like I said to you before, if you don't like cooking meat with the bones left in it, we simply just remove the bones and string it up as a boneless rib of beef. And we're just trimming any excessive amounts of fat in there that people don't want to have on their dinner table to make it as appealing as possible to most people. But most people that have a rib of beef enjoy the taste and the flavor. The next cut that I'm going to show you is a ribeye. Now, this is something that we introduced in this country probably in the 90s. People were going over to America and trying a ribeye steak, and coming back here and asking where they can get one from. And people weren't really doing it. But over the last 25 years, it has become more and more popular. And that's basically where it comes from, is the eye of the boneless rib. And if you've ever tasted a ribeye steak, you'll know that you get fantastic cuts. And then just finishing off with all the cuts that come off that side of beef that you saw at the beginning. Our ABP Talent Academy. This is something that we launched many years ago and it's been a huge success. Some of our senior people have come through this Talent Academy. We basically take grads in, but it's not just about looking at graduates. We're looking internally within our business to see who we can develop and bring on. Developing people is really, really important to ABP. We see our people as our most important asset, and hence why we really, really want to develop each person in wherever they're working or wherever they're from to that fact. We partner with universities nationwide. We offer a range of routes to career depending on the qualifications and desired career. And like I said earlier on, that doesn't matter whether you want to be a master butcher or whether you want to be an engineering manager. There's a program developed to cater for everybody. Our Talent Academy spans a number of routes and career paths, as I said. Finance, operations, IT, engineering, commercial, food science, agriculture, and supply chain. Our grads, regardless of which route they're going to take, if a grad comes in as an engineering grad or a commercial grad, they still go through a very similar program. So all of our grads get a really good insight into our business. They get the opportunity to work over perhaps a 2-year period in all areas. This does involve traveling around the country to our different sites, but they may have to go to a site in Northern Ireland, for argument's sake, to understand our slaughtering process, a site in Yorkshire to understand our retail packing process. And by doing that, it enables them to get a really good understanding of our business and understand the challenges that other people in different areas have, particularly if you're in commercial and you're selling to a customer. It's very, very important that you have a good understanding of what you're selling, and therefore having that knowledge of working around the country in the different sites and having experience in different areas does enable you to provide that information to your customers far more effectively than just sitting there with pen and paper and not really knowing that much about the products that you're selling. The benefits of a career with ABP. Well, we have a very competitive salary, comprehensive technical training, structured people management training, something that we see really, really key to this program. Exposure to senior team members. So as a grad, you will get involved in big, important commercial meetings with customers and that kind of thing. A mentoring program is essential, and every grad is mentored in every area they're working, and they have to provide feedback with a presentation of some sort on a project to demonstrate that they fully understand the area that they have been working in, and also progression. Master butcher. So if you wanted to be somebody like myself, we also have a program for that kind of thing. Essentially, master butchers, we are looking to bring people in who have ideally been on an apprenticeship program. Butchers have been around for a very, very long time because people have been eating meat for a very long time. And we're, as a business, are continuing to try and keep that skill going. People like myself who have been around in the industry for 40 plus years, we want to bring young talent through. And this year we launched a program where we're looking to train up the next future master butcher. So as I said before, ideally somebody coming from the apprentice scene and looking for level 3 butchery, and then also looking at where they want to go within ABP. So with a long-term view of being a manager or something even more senior than that. The 2-year program involves these people going around the different sites, similar to the grad program, but more intense in terms of butchery. Going to work outside. We're developing partners outside of ABP, so people that work with game, so they get an understanding of all species, not just working with beef and lamb. We're looking at all the different factors that are required to be a master butcher. You have to complete 14 sections within a program that demonstrates that you are qualified in all 14 areas. That includes selecting animals for slaughter, being able to mature product to enhance the quality and give you the best possible product, technical experience, food hygiene, level 3, all those kind of areas are really, really key to getting that accreditation. And we as a company will help that person to get through and learn all those different areas so they can fulfill their ambition of being a master butcher. At the moment, there are only less than 60 master butchers in the world. I am number 13 of that number. And like I say, we really want to continue. There are only 4 master butchers within ABP, and the program we've set out this year is to try and get more people accredited, so that when we retire, that skill will continue to grow within our business. If you would like to know more about ABP and what we can provide in terms of a career path, you can go to abpuk.com/people or find us on ABP Careers on Facebook. Alternatively, we have various websites, including our own individual ABP Food Group website. There are several websites on YouTube that cover off a lot of different things that we do as a company, which I think you will find very, very interesting, from agriculture to sustainability.